Chuck's Guitar Geekery. Today I'm taking a stroll down memory lane with this good old Peavey Bandit Teal stripe. This is one of the ones from the early 90s. I believe it's what came after the 65 over here, which I did a video on about a month or two ago. But I've been playing this amp and this guitar for about 30 years now at this point. My dad was on a cover band back in the day, and this is what he bought, this amp and this guitar. This guitar used to look a lot different. Used to look like this. But this was my first foray into modding and just ruining a guitar, but I still love it. Anyways, good old solid state. It's got the Scorpion equipped, as you can tell by the fancy badge here. 2 channels, and there's actually quite a bit of flexibility between the 2 channels. And yeah, let's just get into some sound. All right, so I'm just going to start on the clean channel. This amp is so darn loud, but hopefully I don't clip the recording here, because I have it, the volume's on about 2. So it kind of goes from very quiet to loud. It's not much in between, but, and I have the bright switch in. And this is with the bright switch disengaged. And the reverb's on, obviously, and I have it set pretty low. It's on about 2, but it's a very wet, long tail reverb. So let's see how crazy it gets. Anyways, dirty channel. So I'll point out on the dirty channel here, there's 2 buttons. So one's a shift, which is, yeah, shift. Make sure I remember that right. So to me, that gives it more of a mid-scooped sound, and then there's a gain button that and it's a lot more gain. So I have both of those disengaged, and I don't know if you'll notice on the EQ here, it has 0 in the middle with positive and negative numbers, depending on where you go on the dial. So it's a very active EQ. So the EQ does a lot. So I have them pretty close to straight up. I have the treble down a little bit. Now the gain button. Like I said, the EQ is very powerful. So I'm going to add another jam track in here. Why not? These jam tracks are all DistroKid Trio Plus for the drum and bass, and adding the rhythm loop. So. That's enough of all that. I'm not a metal player. I think I've said that multiple times on this channel, but I tried. Anyways, yeah. 80 watts, pure solid state, Mississippi Marshall goodness going on out of this Peavey Teal stripe here. It's got 2 effects loops too. I really don't know the reasoning behind that. There's one on the front here, there's one on the back. In the few instances where one of these amps you're not getting any sound out of it, it's because the effects loop is dirty, so I actually do have a jumper cable going through the effects loop in the back of it to get signal to pass through. It is what it is on these old amps. This one actually sat in my parents' basement because, you know, it was my dad's. He's still alive. I keep saying it was my dad's, but he just doesn't play music anymore. You know, the arthritis in his hand has gotten to be too much, but it sat in their basement for well over a decade collecting dust, and it's still dirty. I think it gives the amp character, so I'm not going to even bother cleaning this amp. But anyways, subscribe, thumbs up. My general rule is if you come across a Peavey Bandit, no matter which series it is, Teal Stripe, Silver Stripe, 65, 75, Red Stripe, whatever era Bandit you come across, and it's, I don't know, I think adjusted for inflation, $150 or less, go for it. You can't go wrong. I didn't even get into pedals with this thing. This thing handles pedals great, especially on the clean channel. Take the bright switch out. It's just a clean platform. So, yeah. That's enough of all my rambling. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. So, until next time, see ya.